Mhm. So I think it was when my oldest was, I don't know, kindergarten, first grade age. I remember coming to work one day and turning to one of my work friends and being like in tears, being like, I don't know that I'm doing this right. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. I don't know if I am missing something. But I felt like nothing that I said or did was right. And I just remember like crying, right, in her office, being like, I don't think I'm good enough mom. And she's like, I felt the same way. I felt the same way when mine was that age. It's normal. I promise you it'll get better. I remember thinking like, it shouldn't be this hard, right? And I also remember thinking, am I doing the right things? Am I a good mom? Am I meeting all of their emotional needs if I can't meet my own emotional needs? But yeah, I think it's a very normal thing in motherhood to have doubts. Like, am I doing the right thing? Am I good enough? And I think we see on social media and everything, you know, everyone shows their best foot, right? They're going to show the happy pictures and the big moments and things like that. They're not showing the days that you're struggling to get laundry and dishes done, or you are just completely tired and the kids won't like leave you alone for 5 minutes to even kind of hear your own thoughts. And then you kind of snap, right? And you kind of say, just leave me alone. And we don't show that. And I think it's important that people know that it's okay that not every moment of motherhood is pure bliss. Like, you know, all the commercials on TV would have you think, and if you were to watch the majority of people's social media and what they're kind of putting out there, all of motherhood is not, you know, perfect and rainbows and unicorns and everything like that. It's hard work. And it's one of those things that until you're in it, it's hard to understand that mental fatigue. And I think with motherhood too, and this can go with fatherhood, it's definitely just to say parenthood. There's this unseen burden that happens, right? So kind of in every family, it's broken up differently. So you might have to say like, nobody's telling me that I'm responsible for making my kids' doctor's appointments, but I know that I'm responsible because no one else is going to do that. And it's somebody's job to get your kids enrolled in school and sign them up for extracurricular activities and make sure, you know, divided amongst your house. However, we're talking about groceries and we're talking about making sure the kids have clean laundry and making sure you're not missing whatever else has been added on the calendar for their school events. And so this this unseen burden that kind of falls with parenthood, that you kind of understand the aspect of becoming a parent, but living in that and knowing that it's up to you to keep all those, you know, balls juggling in the air and trying not to let one drop. And so it can be exhausting sometimes and makes you feel like, I don't know that I'm doing enough. Am I enough? But it's important to realize that you are enough. And just because you feel that you may not be enough in that moment, your kids still think that you are everything in their world. And that you're doing the best that you can, just like everybody else is. You know, having 3 kids that live at home, and activities and things like that, free time is sparse, especially this time of year when you have other obligations that you have to go to graduations and everything else that's happening. I think even just carving out a little bit of time, and I know it sounds crazy, but for me, like, just like even being able to like take a shower uninterrupted, just having, you know, 10, 15 minutes to myself without being needed. And just to like, okay, I'll wash away the stressors. I can focus on myself. Or at the end of the day, when the kids go to bed, reading a book. So I don't necessarily have time to go always. I feel like on my days off now, I'm packing in so much stuff to try to get everything else ready for the rest of the week, that I don't always have time to necessarily go get my nails done or anything like that. But finding those little pockets of time when they're available, and even, like I said, something as simple as going on a walk, taking a shower, reading a book, and just focusing on myself and not needing to focus on other people for even just a short period of time. And, you know, someone might be like, well, man, that makes me feel selfish that I want to be able to focus on myself for a little bit, but it's not. You know, you're just as important now as you were before you became a mother. And it's very easy to forget that. It's very easy to kind of shove that off to the side and be like, I can wait. And I do that. I do shove things off because I know that my kids have practice and they have some school project that they dropped on me last minute that they've known about for 2 weeks, but they just told me about, that I now have to help them do something. But know that when you're able to have those little pockets of time, to not feel guilty about being like, hey, I'm going to go for a little walk by myself. Right. You know, this is my thing. Like, I'm going to go for a walk and my kid's like, I want to go. And I'm like, okay, you know, and sometimes it's like, you just need to be like, and that's okay. That doesn't make you selfish. That just means that you are still making yourself a priority.